Hello, everybody. Jake Schwartz here at Coppin State University down here in Baltimore, Maryland for the third annual Shirts vs. Skins Classic. And this young man right here, I have had the privilege of meeting him for the first time tonight. Now let's talk about what makes this young man a very special person. His name happens to be Brian O'Shea, and he is the founder of the Shirts vs. Skins Classic. I still think of this as the game between the North versus the South, and he has done a great job of that. And tonight, the North versus South took control of that game, with St. Benedict's being the final team. Brian O'Shea, welcome to Voice of Reason. I've been looking forward to meeting you all week long.
Hey, thanks. I
it's
really
been,
appreciate you having me on your program.
Thank you, sir. It has been a pleasure as well. Brian, 3 years ago, you started this Shirts vs. Skins Classic. Tell everybody that's listening why. What makes Shirts vs. Skins? As you know, a lot of great tournaments all around the country. What makes this an elite tournament?
Well, our commitment to bringing in the best players and schools from around the country and competing against a lot of the top teams in the Baltimore region and some of the DC teams too. So our commitment is to bringing in great talent, but we want the games to be competitive also. You know, it's good when people can walk away from here and say, I saw a great game, it was close. You know, some overtime games in the last couple years. So that's what makes it really good. It's our commitment for the product on the floor.
And over the last 3 years, what have been some of the best teams that you've had? Or who have been some of the best teams you've had?
Yeah, well, just start locally. We've had Calvert Hall,
yeah.
Mount St. Joe, St. Francis, you know, just to name a few. This year, John Carroll on a local level. And then out of state, St. Benedict's Prep has always been, you know, they're one of our original teams to come in, so they've been competing every year. And Putnam Science has a great prep team out of Connecticut. You know, and then we've had, you know, our first year we had a good team in Constitution out of Philadelphia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Constitution
Rob
competed.
Moore.
Matter of fact, one of the boys who now plays for Juan Dixon here at Coppin State University.
I didn't know that. Which one is it?
You know, I forgot his name. I'll be honest with you.
I'm out of the Philadelphia area. I didn't know that. I think you know what? Maybe I did, but I'd have to figure that one out. Tonight we started off a 19-point win by Putnam Science, 19 by New York native Jose Perez. Then a 1-point game. It was sort of a controversial game, as Bishop McNamara's coach Marty Keithline thought that with the last basket and Bishop Laughlin having no timeouts left should have led. So again, this is just a good example. And then St. Benedict's with easy fashion. But this just seems like it's a good example of what's to expect this coming weekend. Despite the threat of snow coming here in the south tomorrow, we're still expecting really good action here all day tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great slew of like teams. I mean, you got you know, and the nightcap, just St. Benedict's Prep, you know, playing St. Francis.
Yeah,
that's going to be a heck of a game. Then you got John Carroll playing Bishop Laughlin. Another great game.
Well, I wanted to talk about that. My dear friend of mine, a mutual friend of ours, Kirkley, his son plays at Drexel.
Yeah.
The Kirkley Foundation is one of the most respected foundations. In fact, when I met up with Kirk before the night started, what has Kirk brought to the Shirts vs. Skins and the partnership he has with you?
Yeah, I think the best thing is, you know, the integrity of the game. We wanted to make sure a good product was on the floor. So when we sat down 4 years ago and started mapping out a plan for how we want to look, we just said, okay, we want to have competitive games, number one. And we just want to bring in the best talent, the best teams from around the country to compete, you know, against our talent.
Yeah.
You know? So we have a lot of talent that we want to exploit in Baltimore. And then by year 3, we wanted to have a couple girls' games. So that was important, bringing the women.
Yep, John Carroll will be among those teams again playing.
Yeah.
Well, we're just a little bit out of time again, but we wanted to thank you, the founder, Brian O'Shea, for stopping by. And Brian, again, I've been around 13 years doing basketball. This is certainly going to be one of my favorites, and I hope to make a tradition out of this.
Great.
You have certainly my vote, sir. Brian O'Shea, the founder of the Shirts vs. Skins Classic, on another edition of Voice of Reason. Jake Schwartz again here at Baltimore's Coppin State University, again with Brian O'Shea.